Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. All of the fun happened on Sunday and yesterday. Welcome back to misery. Philadelphia 76ers news right here on Run It Back Philly. Here's what we got to do, man. Here's what we got to talk about. I haven't gotten to talk about the Joel Embiid weird thing that happened on ESPN, and we got to talk about whether or not the Philadelphia 76ers are going to shut him down for the season after that news came out live on ESPN, but the Sixers haven't reported it. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the on-off numbers for individual players on this team, because I'm watching Nick Nurse's rotations throughout the season, and it just stands out to me that when he plays certain guys, they win or have a chance to win, and when he doesn't play certain guys, they lose by a lot. So I went and found the specific on-off numbers of certain guys. You're not going to believe who it is. Tyrese Maxey's fourth in the NBA in scoring, and we got to talk about that. And then an update on the injury report for tonight. Okay, thanks for being here. Hit the like button. Give me 1 million likes on the video. Let's get right down to business. Joel Embiid acknowledges he might need another knee surgery. Now, this was live on ESPN. They interviewed him, or they interviewed him before the game, but somebody interviewed him and said this during the live broadcast. It's just weird for that to be the way something gets reported versus a reporter on the team having this information. But here it is. Here's what Joel Embiid said. When he was talking to reporters after the game. No. The 2023 MVP wasn't definitive about when talking to reporters after the game. They said something live on the broadcast. Anyway, here's what Joel Embiid said. I think the straightforward answer is that when you've got something that's inconsistent, at some point you got to do something about it. We don't know what it is. We're looking into every option. All right. He also said this. At some point I probably need to just, especially when the summer comes around, these few months to just recover fully. Like I said, I don't know what it is, but if that keeps being the same pattern, then obviously you've got to try something else. Every day, take it day by day. If it gets worse, then you got to do something about it. If it's not consistent enough, then that's not good enough. You know, I do like Joel Embiid's self-awareness on this topic. That is absolutely true. If you're trying something and it's not working, you can't keep trying it. If this process of, what the team said before the season, which is, we talked to doctor. Well, they didn't tell us before the season. They lied to us. But a couple of months later, they said, we talked to a bunch of doctors before the season, and basically we thought that we could manage his injury with health promoting tactics or some kind of bullshit. They said, yeah, if that's not working, you got to try something else. It's not working. He plays 2 games. He looks good sometimes. He looks terrible a lot of times. The knee swells up. He misses another 2 weeks. The Sixers are losing. Yeah. Shut him down, bro. What the freak are we doing here? Joel Embiid is getting to the point where he's tired of this repetitive pattern of playing and then knee swelling, and then not being able to play, and then playing and then knee swelling, and then not being able to play. Yeah, they need to shut him down, bro. This is absolutely ridiculous, it's also just so damn Sixers that the report comes out live on an ESPN broadcast, and Joel Embiid basically says it himself versus anybody else saying it. Daryl Morey had a press conference where he lied to everybody and said, we still believe this team can win. We still believe we can get Joel Embiid on the court consistently. We still believe this or that. Lied. Josh Harris came out for some reason, opened his stupid mouth and said, we still believe we can win with this team. When our guys are healthy, we're a great team. That's just not true at all. They lied. And just like a day later, Joel Embiid is live on ESPN saying, yeah, it's not consistent enough. It's frustrating. And if it's not working and at some point you got to do something about it, I might need another surgery and a long recovery period. So, yeah, they need to shut him down for the season. Daryl Morey and these idiots need to stop lying to us about it. The fan base isn't buying it anymore. Nobody's buying it. That's the funny part. The owner and the GM are so disconnected from what's actually happening. They still think the fans are buying these lies. You guys don't, like, they actually don't understand that the entire fan base has been out for a month now, at least, or longer. And to Joel Embiid, talking about I might need another surgery and longer recovery period. Joel, my guy, you're going to be 31. You've had multiple knee surgeries. I'm sorry, buddy. It might be time to retire. We're not talking about another surgery and another year-long recovery. It might be time to retire. Now, let's look at the on-off numbers of certain players on this team. Because I just noticed watching the Sixers, just being a ball watcher. I'm not a stat watcher. I'm not a box score watcher. None of that. But I noticed in a 7-game span, when everybody was hurt, all of Nick Nurse's favorite old guys were hurt. Paul George was out. Joel Embiid was out. Kyle Lowry was out. Eric Gordon was out. In a 7-game span, the 76ers won 4 games in a row. They won 5 out of 7, and they were even very competitive in the games that they lost. 1 to the Denver Nuggets, 1 to the Boston Celtics, where they were up by 26 points. And I noticed they've been better with those, like I've been saying all season, young athletic guys on the floor. And so I went and found the exact numbers, actually. And the highest differential for an individual player on the 76ers team, on-off differential, is a Dem Bona at a 6.96. The number 2 highest on-off differential for the 76ers is Ricky Council at a 4.66. And when Nick Nurse plays a Dem Bona and Ricky Council, they are marginally better as a basketball team overall. Mostly because nobody else on the roster can defend the paint. That's why a Dem Bona is at the top right there. Nobody else on this entire roster can defend the rim. And Ricky Council is just an end-to-end high athlete guy. And his athleticism and his energy changes the team completely. And the last 3 games the Sixers lost, Ricky Council has essentially been a DNP. This is not rocket science. When I went to find this number, I didn't know that the numbers were going to back up my argument this drastically. But there you go. And one of the lowest on the team this season is Joel Embiid. The 76ers are a minus 0.94 win differential when Joel Embiid is on the floor. They're a minus 0.7 when he's on the floor. They're actually a plus 0.2 when he's off the floor, which is the only plus in this entire list. The Philadelphia 76ers statistically this season are 0.2 points per 100 possession better without Joel Embiid on the floor. So not only is he not healthy, he flat out has not been good. And, in a game where he had a 29-point triple-double, etc., I said, yeah, but I watched the game. They made a run every time he went to the bench. He can put up fancy stats when he's out there. They were better without him. People hate when I say that. Well, you hit a 29-point triple-double. You're going to say, I'm just watching the game. That's all I'm doing. I'm just watching the game. But there you have that. Now let's move on. In 2023, I said out loud in plain English, Tyrese Maxey could be a 26-point per game All-Star this season. And in the 23-24 season, Tyrese Maxey was a 26-point per game All-Star. In 2024, I said I could see Tyrese Maxey leading this team in scoring and being a top 5 scorer in the NBA. I actually said I could see him averaging 30 points per game. I could see him leading the NBA in scoring. But that was my assumption. My assumption with that was assuming Joel Embiid and Paul George would be on the floor and Tyrese Maxey would take another leap forward with the help of those guys taking pressure off of him defensively. But anyway, Tyrese Maxey this season, 28.1 points per game, 4th in the NBA in scoring. Now, I posted this on Instagram because I say these things because every season there's just these Tyrese Maxey haters. And it makes no sense to me. It will never make any sense to me. They just want him to fail so bad. They've said for years, he's a good player. He's a nice player. He's never going to be an all-star. He's never going to be an all-star level player. Then that turned into he's never going to lead the team in scoring. He's a good 2 or 3. He's never going to be a number 1. 28.1 points per game. Tyrese Maxey this season. And a perfect example of this is I posted it on Instagram, and a hater still exists. He needs to learn how to close games first, this guy says, okay? Tyrese Maxey is 4th in the NBA in scoring, and somebody says he needs to learn how to close games first. NBA total points in the clutch 2025, Tyrese fucking Maxey. Welcome to the Yap Olympics. This is all you guys do all day. Is just fucking talk out your ass like Ace Ventura, bro. It's all you do. You just wake up and you just say things. Without watching games, without looking at us. You can't even Google for 2 minutes before you say something stupid. You just wake up and start yapping. Tyrese Maxey needs to learn how to close games first while he's leading the NBA in total clutch points. By the way, this is total clutch points is scoring the final 5 minutes of an NBA game. God, I hate you guys, man. I love you guys. You know what I'm trying to say. All right, man. Tonight, Joel Embiid is questionable. Of course, he's always questionable. Left knee injury management. Eric Gordon is questionable. Sprained right wrist. Not sure when that happened. Kyle Lowry is out with right hip injury management. There's a couple of things I want to say about this. Are we now witnessing a difference in the Sixers front office and Nick Nurse? Because it seems like every time the Sixers go on a little bit of a losing streak, while Nick Nurse is playing all of these old guys and Joel Embiid is playing and Ricky Council's getting DNPs and Adembona's getting DNPs. Eventually, Eric Gordon, Kyle Lowry, Joel Embiid, and everybody sits out. Are we witnessing the front office say, hey, you need to stop playing these guys. We're losing. The season's over. We like what we see from Justin Edwards, Ricky Council, Adembona for the future. We would like to see them more and look at advanced analytics and look at the point differential when those guys are on the floor and look at how they help the team. Are we witnessing that? You let me know. Is Nick Nurse doing something and then the front office is saying, all right, let's stop doing that for a couple of games and test this out, you know? Also, Kyle Lowry, right hip injury management. What is the point of Kyle Lowry in 2025? I need to know what the point is. He's completely washed, but even more, he plays a game, he sits 2 games. He plays 2 games, he sits 3 games. Somebody tell me, what is the point of Kyle Lowry playing in the NBA in 2025? He's not helping a team do anything. And he's playing like every other game. Is it really just a thank you from Nick Nurse for what Kyle Lowry helped him do in Toronto? There's no other reason for him to be on an NBA roster. He got bought out by the Miami Heat. He got waived by the Miami Heat. Anyway, at least tonight we will get to see what has been fun to watch this season. The young guys. They've been fun to watch. It's the only bright spot here, watching the young guys play. We're no longer concerned about, me personally, I'm no longer concerned about getting Joel Embiid back on the floor or Joel Embiid and Paul George getting healthy and staying healthy and helping this team win or any. I'm no longer interested in that. And I don't think you are either. I'm interested in watching Tyrese Maxey and all the young guys, and Quentin Grimes and Jared Butler and Adem Bona and Ricky Council and Justin Edwards, Gershon Yabusele, Kelly Oubre. I'm interested in watching those guys go out there and compete. I'm over this. So yeah, we'll be live tonight for the game, but we will be there just for the vibes. Don't you forget. I'm out.